Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Sully here. Today I'm going to be giving you an updated Season 5 high round strategy guide on the map Maschine. So to get straight into it, the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you have the Ring of Fire field upgrade on your loadout. Now the weapon doesn't really matter all that much. It's actually going to be easier to buy a weapon off the wall during the game because the weapon's upgraded to legendary now, and that way you don't have to waste your salvage on upgrading your loadout weapon. But if you do want to take your loadout weapon to the higher rounds, I'd recommend that you choose an SMG, something that has a really quick swap time and also has a big mag for the insta kills too. And as well as this, make sure that you go in your controller settings, scroll all the way down to reload behaviour and change this to prioritise reload. This is just going to stop you from picking up random equipment whilst you're trying to reload your ray gun throughout the strategy. When it comes to the doors, there's only going to be one that you need to keep closed, and it's the one right at the back of the penthouse, and this is where you're going to be doing the strategy. So I'm just going to gloss over something quickly that stops a lot of people from doing high rounds on this map, and it's going to be getting the ray gun quickly. So how I'd recommend going about this is by doing the free wonder weapon easter egg, grab yourself the wonder weapon, come up to the penthouse and just blast through the first 30 rounds. So how I'll go about doing this is I'll shoot the 4 shots on my wonder weapon, that'll fill up my ring of fire, and then when I have my ring of fire I'll pop that and use the suction effect with the damage boost to fill all my ammo back up, then just rinse and repeat that. So basically what happens around 30 is the mystery box is almost going to like upgrade itself. Every other spin is going to give you a legendary weapon, and the chances of you getting a ray gun on these rounds is going to skyrocket. So this is when I'd recommend actually spinning the box in your game to try and get the ray gun. You're also going to have like 100,000 points too, so if you keep a zombie at the end of one of these rounds, go and spin the box, you're always going to get a ray gun like this. I've never not gotten a ray gun by doing this. Alright, so now let's move on to the early round strategy. As you can see, I've got Shatter Blast and I've also got myself a ray gun too. So at the start of every round, you want to use Shatter Blast on that wall spawn. That's going to be the spawn that spawns the most zombies at the beginning of a round. And then from that point, look left, kill the spawn with your ray gun, and you should have your Ring of Fire charged up. From this point you just want to start focusing fire on the third spawn down the alleyway, and every couple of seconds, right when the zombies are about to climb over the wall, you want to put one shot of your ray gun on that spawn. The splash damage and the damage boost is going to kill all of the zombies climbing up the wall. And then of course right after you do that, kill the left spawn as well by doing the same thing. Just one shot should kill the whole spawn. And as you can see, the early rounds are going to go by so fast, you're not even going to need a second Ring of Fire, you're not even going to need to use your War Machine just yet. So now we're going to move on to the high round strategy guide. This is basically once you get to the point where you need a second Ring of Fire activation to actually finish the round, which is going to be about round 60, round 65 plus. It might happen a bit earlier for you, it might happen a bit later. And basically this is going to be exactly the same as the previous strategy, but it's going to chain in 2 additions just to make it so that you can continuously use your Ring of Fire throughout the round without getting overrun. So as you can see, I'm starting the round exactly the same as before. I'm going to shoot Shatter Blast at the wall spawn, fill up my Ring of Fire on the left spawn. Now I'm just going to start teeing off with my Ring of Fire, and when that goes, I'm going to look to pop my Shatter Blast again on the wall spawn. I believe this round I actually mess it up, but you see me intention. So Ring of Fire is about to end now. I'm going to switch to my Shatter Blast. I try to shoot the wall spawn, unfortunately a zombie eats it. But from this point, once you've done that, pull out your War Machine and take one shot and it should fill up your Ring of Fire again. Now the whole point of using the Shatter Blast right before the War Machine is just to make sure that you can fill up your Ring of Fire with one shot of the War Machine. So I still managed to achieve that there. However, it is going to be best to try and activate it on the wall spawn. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, the wall spawn is going to spawn the majority of the zombies out of these 3 spawns. So I'm going to show another round just to make sure you all have the gist of it. So at the start of the round, make sure that you're using that Shatter Blast on the wall spawn and then filling up your Ring of Fire on the left spawn. If you already have your Ring of Fire charged, just do this anyways, because a lot of the time you're just waiting for the third spawn to actually catch up to make your Ring of Fire useful. So either way, I'd recommend doing this. Once your Ring of Fire is charged, to start teeing off in each of the spawns. You only need to fire 1 or 2 shots at the wall spawn and the left spawn to kill them all. And then just pop your Shatter Blast at the wall spawn. I actually managed to hit me shot this time. And then from that point, pull out your War Machine when there's enough zombies around you. Shoot 1 shot, it should fill up your Ring of Fire. And then go back to doing the Ring of Fire strat where you're just teeing off on all the spawns. Because it's so easy to fill up your Ring of Fire now, you're going to actually be able to pull off this strategy the whole game now. So this is going to be the best strategy for this map. However, I know it's going to be a little bit on the tougher side for some people, so let us know if you want us to update the safer high round strategy video. I know the Iron Lung strategy got patched, but there are safer strategies out there still, so I can do one of them for you if you need help still. And now I'm going to be quickly going over the boss for this map, the Megaton. So how you go about taking out the Megaton is, chances are he's going to spawn right as you pop the ring of fire, the first one, maybe a few seconds into it. So what I'd recommend doing is, whenever he spawns and you have a good shot on him, just start prioritizing actually splitting the Megaton. You can't kill him in the first ring of fire unless he spawns really early, which is really rare. So as you can see, he spawned in now. I'm going to just make sure that I can actually split him. I've seen the blue light in the background, so I know that I split him. And then from this point, just fill up your ring of fire. It's so quick to fill it up. If you don't fill it up in one war machine shot, just shoot another one quickly, because chances are you only need a couple of kills to actually fill it up from that point. And once you've popped your second ring of fire and the Megaton's finally out of that invulnerable state where he's invincible whilst he's splitting, you want to try and throw a Molotov at his split. The Molotov's got a damage buff in one of the prior updates, and also with the damage buff of the ring of fire, the Molotov's pretty much insta-kill the split Megaton. It's actually crazy how quick they kill them. You don't need Molotovs to kill them, you can just start focusing fire with your ray gun. However, it is going to be so much easier just to kill them with Molotovs. Now I'm going to show you a clip of me doing the next boss round. So as you can see, the boss gets a little bit too close for comfort, but 3 or 4 shots of the ray gun whilst in the ring of fire and he's split no problem. As you can see, I throw down a Molotov and the boss just dies that quickly. That's how good the Molotovs are against the boss when you're in the ring of fire, so be sure to try and utilise this in your games. Alright, so now I'm going to give you a few little mini tips just to help throughout your game. So if you run out of a war machine at the end of a round, if you take this exact route that I'm taking now, you can buy a war machine and make it back to the penthouse before the next round even starts. Doing it like this is going to make sure that you're not going to get any weird spawns that you're not used to. Alright, now this won't be necessary until the very later rounds, but let's say you need to get a new war machine mid-round. Just run through the gap as you turn around, shoot the zombies to make sure that you fill up your ring of fire, and then take this route to grab a new war machine. This isn't going to be necessary until the very higher rounds where you're actually shooting a lot of shots at your war machine to get through one round. So if you're just going for round 100, you're probably not going to need to do this. You can just do the one at the end of a round, but if you're going for something crazy like round 500, you're probably going to need to do this. Now I'm going to show you how to fill up your ring of fire using a decoy. This is going to be useful if you ever just forget to buy a war machine. I've been there before. Chances are some of you are going to be in this situation, so all you want to do is just throw a decoy at the top, let the zombies build up a little bit, and then shoot Shatter Blast just to kill them all. So when you're doing this, whenever your ring of fire finishes, don't shoot the Shatter Blast at the wall spawn like you used to. Just save it for the decoy, and then you can fill up your ring of fire like this. So now I'm going to show you some gameplay of me using the insta-kills. I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but you might be a little bit confused of once you finish the insta-kill, you might get overrun and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you how I use the insta-kill and how I recover from the insta-kill as well. And the final tip that I'm going to give you is that the fast dog round trick still works. So if you come up against this wooden pole, you stand in the middle of it, all of the dogs on a dog round are going to spawn right around you, opposed to spawning all the way at the other end of the building, and it takes quite a while, the dog round, when that happens. So if you do this, it's going to make the dog round go by a lot quicker. Now this is going to be the end of the video, but I'm going to show one more round because this is a little bit tougher of a strategy, and I know some people might want a little bit more gameplay just to help them study it and get the strategy down even more. But apart from that, that's going to be it from me. So if this video helped you out, be sure to leave a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.